My name is Kary Oberbrunner, and welcome to Instant IP Live. I'm not wearing makeup. This is a bike accident that I had recently, so don't mind me, but we are going to have a fantastic time today. And I'm going to teach you all about intellectual property protection, especially in this age of AI. So I see we have some people, Brad, Samuel, Williams, Arian, fantastic. I see you all below. You can ask any questions in the chat as well. And you're going to walk away with a lot of actionable items. All right. So, first of all, let's get you started with a free instant IP credit. And so we're going to drop in this link, but it's instantip.app. The reason why you may want to grab that right now is because probably during the chat today, you're going to actually want to protect some IP. So if you look below here, this is Instant IP app, and you'll see here in a moment, I'll show you how to protect something. But we live in a world right now where there's a lot of AI theft. In fact, if you go to Murphy Campbell, Murphy, Murphy Campbell, this was a Rolling Stones article. She basically says, "This is not me. Inside the AI scams, driving musicians crazy. Indie artists are constantly finding AI generated impersonations on their streaming pages, and it's only getting worse." So, folks, this young lady in the middle here, she is a big deal on YouTube. Her name's Murphy Campbell. She plays banjo. She created original songs based on her ancestors in the Appalachian area. But here's the problem. Like a lot of people, Suno exists. If you don't know about Suno, it's a music app. Here it is, AI for music creators. Be very careful that you read the terms and conditions. Okay. So, this, for example, Suno, you can see that it's not all it's cracked up to be. In other words, hey, become an AI artist, your sound, your taste. Here's the problem. People are going there, and some people are feeding in their voice. So, this happened to Murphy Campbell. Somebody grabbed her voice off of YouTube, uploaded it to Suno, and then basically Murphy Campbell had not protected her own intellectual property. She did not have the right IP protection. And so what happened is this impersonator basically then fed her voice into Suno AI, and Suno AI started training on her voice and started making her music and her voice available for everybody. And then get this, the impersonator filed copyrights and locked her out of her own voice. Is that crazy or what? She has invested her blood, her sweat, her tears in this amazing talent that she has. She's monetized her YouTube channel. And unfortunately, somebody, a bad actor, again, took her IP because that's what it is, folks. You might not think that you have any IP today. I'm going to show you how to find it. Even the words NIL, lots of you know what NIL means, right? In the athletic world, name, image, likeness. Go with me for a second. You are IP. Now, I know that's pretty interesting. You have IP, but you are also IP. And I know that sounds a little weird. People think, well, gee, maybe I'm not a celebrity. What do you mean I am IP? Listen, if you weren't worth something, there wouldn't be so many people trying to copy you. We now see that there's all kinds of scams going around. People call you. They want you to talk. Why do they want you to talk? Because they want to then clone your voice, and then they want to call your loved ones and basically say, hey, grandpa and grandma, this is your grandson, right? And then I need some money. Can you send it over? And again, this is happening all over the place. Senior citizens and non-senior citizens are assuming that somebody is really that person, and then they're sending money. So you might think, well, gee, why are they doing that? Because every person has value. Every person has data. Okay. Recently, I'm not going to throw Mel Robbins under the bus. You may like her, you may not like her, but she got lit up. In fact, I'm sure if I just do a quick Google search, why did Mel Robbins get lit up recently? Because she recommended, watch this here, watch this. Show you the quick article here. Again, I'm going to teach you a lot today, so I hope you're able to listen and get value. But Mel Robbins received backlash after posting a video sponsored by Microsoft Copilot, i.e., AI, where she advised her followers, especially women, to upload their sensitive financial documents such as bank and debt statements and bills so that the AI assistant would help manage their money. Why did she get lit up? Because she got a nice check, most likely. Again, you can do the research, all right? But she's a lawyer. And what did she do? She used her audience, her platform, to essentially tell people, hey, listen, go trust AI, put all your sensitive information in there because it's going to be able to help you. Now, again, I don't know her motives, I don't know her personally. But all I'm saying is, folks, you have to be careful today. AI is a great tool. AI is something I use often. I've used it for my own health questions, right? I use it as my thinking partner. But here's what I do. I create boundaries in place because your name, your image, your likeness, your data, your thoughts, your creativity, all of this is valuable. All of this is intellectual property. Intellectual property is an intangible asset. And sadly, listen, I just posted in the NSA yesterday, right? The National Speakers Association. I asked a question and I said, hey, what happens when a speaker's on stage these days and everyone's wearing a wearable and they're recording your talk? And it was amazing to hear a lot of ignorance. I'm not throwing anybody again under the bus again, but what I'm saying is that these are supposed to be the most savvy, the most sophisticated speakers, and sadly, a lot of them don't even recognize their own value. They said, I don't care if people record my talks on AI. I don't care as long as they give me credit. Now, come on, folks. True story here. Again, we're going to talk about the problem first, then I'm going to give you a ton of solutions, okay? But my own story, if you're curious about this, you go to instantip.today, go under toolbox. I'm going to show you some of these tools today, but speak the IP. Here's me giving my TEDx talk, right? In fact, Tanisha, remind me, I want to put my TEDx picture here. So that's Sonny, our friend, and he did protect his IP before he stood on stage. But here's somebody who literally stole my IP word for word, my entire TEDx talk. And guess what the person said? I don't even know them. I'm surprised they showed up. This guy named Sergi. Guess what? This happened to me 2 years ago. He showed up and he said, I'm so sorry. I used AI to write articles and it must have taken your TEDx talk. The good news is that I screenshot it. If you ever think somebody's infringing upon your IP, screenshot it because the moment I reached out to him, he deleted it. Okay. I don't know if he was innocent. I don't know if he was guilty, but he showed up on LinkedIn once I wrote the article and he said, oh my gosh, I'm super sorry. This is you. I'm using AI and I didn't mean to. And I said, hey, listen, no problem. Thanks for taking it down. Again, I was cool about it. I was kind about it. And luckily he respected it. But there's a lot of people who don't respect it. In fact, I was at a conference recently. I saw two gentlemen wearing pins. And you know what I'm talking about. These are AI pins. And I think 2026 is the year, maybe 2027, where everybody's going to be recording everything. You just have to be used to that. I'm at a dinner party after a conference, and the guy's recording our talk at dinner. And I said to him, hey, I see your pin there. What are you doing? And he said, oh, I just press record the moment I start my day every day. And I just walk around and every single conversation and every single talk. And we're at this business conference. I'm just recording it. And I said, well, what do you do with it? Oh, I just plug it into my AI at the end of the day and it helps me with my notes. It helps me record things. Now, again, I'm not saying the guy has bad motives, but what I am saying is that you can absolutely bet that if you do an entire talk where you've spent time and money and people have hired you and you're showing slides and graphics and you're teaching things, you can bet that his AI will absolutely train on your intellectual property. And if you haven't protected your IP first, it's very hard to go in a court of law and prove that you were there and the creator of that IP. That's why, folks, I'm going to show you some tools today. By the way, welcome Arian, Brad, Kary, Karen, Kathleen, Samuel, William. If you need anything, just go ahead and let me know if you need anything. But we're going to show you now. We've just developed some very cool tools. We want you to feel confident when you go out into the world. In fact, watch this little graphic that I'm about to show you. I call this the IP flywheel. Okay? The IP flywheel. Here's the point. Everyone is publishing IP. Don't think of publishing just as books. Publishing means you publish a podcast, you publish a product, you publish a service. Okay? Anytime you're publishing something, what most people do is they go right to promote. So they go from clarity to credibility to capital. They go from publish to promote to profit. They skip the protect. And folks, if you skip the protect, you should feel lack of confidence because now you're exposing all of your worth and your value without having a fence around your IP. Okay. Now, listen, you might say, Kary, do I really have value? Does my IP have value? I would say absolutely. Some of you know what this is. Who's the first person who's going to know what this is? What is this called? Okay. This is called the Golden Circle, Simon Sinek. And go ahead, type in the comments if you know this, all right? But this is called the Golden Circle. And he makes, does anyone know how much Simon Sinek makes for one page of his book? Anyone take a guess? How much does Simon Sinek make for one page of IP, one picture of IP per talk? Now you might say, well, Kary, that's because it's Simon Sinek. Guess what? It's also because he named the IP and he described it. He makes $150,000 per talk. Okay. Now, what did he name this? The Golden Circle. So how do you make your IP count? You make it count by having it be unique and naming it and describing it and protecting it. Let me say that again. You name it, it has to be unique. You describe it and you protect it. Simon Sinek's Golden Circle is a leadership and marketing framework based on the concept that people are not inspired by what you do, but by why you do it. Okay? And guess what he did? He named it, he described it, and he protected it. Now, this is different than just his book. You bet he filed a copyright for his book. Sure he did. It's a registered copyright. But folks, do you want to just have a lock on your front door? Or do you want to have a lock, a ring camera, a guard dog, and a security camera, and maybe even a fence? My point is this. Most people don't even put any lock on their front door. They say, you know what? I don't care if people steal from me. I don't care if people take my IP. And that comes from a lack of self-worth. And let me tell you this, if you don't take your IP seriously, people will not take you seriously. I hear this all the time. Well, of course she's Taylor Swift. Of course she protects her IP. That's because she's big. Check this out, folks. You don't protect your IP when you're big. You become big by protecting your IP. Let me say that again. You don't protect your IP when you're big. You become big by protecting your IP. Taylor Swift trademarked her name before she was big. So did 21 Pilots. So did the Nike swoosh that was only $75 worth for that logo. They protected it. And the point is this, folks, if you just say, well, I don't care if everybody takes my stuff, be ready, because here's what people will do. They'll do the Murphy Campbell on you. They'll say, great, I'll walk into your house, I'll stay in your house, and guess what? I'll do squatting. I'll kick you out of your own IP and lock you out, and I'll protect it, and now you can't even use your own invention. Pretty nutty, huh? So let's get in and show you some of these tools, all right? Is everyone with me? Brad, Kary, Karen. And Tanisha, I don't even know if you want to go over on my Facebook and comment on that too, but I think we have a live stream, and I think this is going to go out on Substack and LinkedIn and Twitter and all these places. So we're if you find this helpful, everybody, I'm going to do this regularly this summer. Instant IP live, because I'll tell you what, it here's my big mission. If we lose to AI, we lose our humanity. Let me say it again. I'm seeing a trend. People are saying AI is going to steal my stuff anyway. I'm just going to stop creating. All right. I've already seen this happen. I've talked with people. I was just at Strategic Coach yesterday. Love those people. I was at Abundance Summit recently, right? Next week, I'm in Boston at an IP mastermind. I'm traveling the country and I'm seeing a trend among creators. And you are a creator if you're here. You are a creator. I'm a faith guy. I believe God created us to create. Check that out. I believe God created you uniquely to create. And when you give up and you say, I'm not going to create anymore because AI is stealing it all, I'm sure Murphy Campbell feels that way. I'm sure she does. She could be like, what's the use? I spent all these times, I wrote all these songs. Now I can't even sing my own songs. Now my YouTube channel's demonetized. Now I'm locked out of my own IP. Here's what happens. Here's how AI wins. AI wins when you stop creating and you then only become a consumer. You see what I'm talking about? So, folks, I'm going to have one ask today. If you find this of value, do what Kathleen did. I already sent a message to my team. And by the way, Kathleen, I'm picking a guest in the future. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite them to be a panelist. And what I'll do, with their permission, is in real time, the next time we do Instant IP Live, I will harvest with them their hidden Rembrandts. Okay. Katie and I wrote a book, Katie Rubino and I. She's my IP lawyer. We wrote a book. You can go on Amazon and check it out. All right. It's the number one book on Amazon right now for trademarks, copyrights, patent, intellectual property. Lawyers are reading this and they're saying, you know what? I like this. And here's what this book tells you. This book says that you have hidden Rembrandts. I'm just going to set it here. You have hidden Rembrandts in your attic. Now, let me show you really quick. And then we'll get into the tools. The first half, I'm basically telling you why this is important, because if I just give you the solutions, you'll be like, well, who cares, right? But if you go to instantip.today/about, watch this. I'm going to show you really quickly why this is important. This is not me. This is a independent research company that basically says, look, let's check out the S&P 500. The S&P 500, this is the 1975. So this is the most valuable brands and businesses on the planet. The most valuable brands and businesses on the planet, only 17% of their worth was in IP in 1975. You see that? 17% of the company's value was in IP. What happened? The internet. We went digital. Now you have Airbnb, right? Now you have Uber. Now you have Apple. You have all these companies now that 90 to 96% of the value of that company is in their IP. So now when I go to the NSA, right, and I put on Facebook over at the NSA, um, there's me talking right now over there. But I went to the NSA group, right? And I posted the other day about, hey, I think we should all take our IP seriously. What about AI stealing it? Most people there, they didn't get it. They're just like, look, people are paying for me on stage. They don't get it. They don't get that they are IP. So let's show you these tools here. All right, you're gonna love this. In fact, who wants me to kind of who's willing to put their website in the chat? Put your website in the chat if you want me to literally help you personally today. Just your website. All I need is your website. And here's where I'm going to lead you today. Go to instantip.today. We don't ask for your email. We don't ask you to opt in. I'm going to show you really quick how I can find your IP, and I'm going to help you name your IP. So does anyone? Oh, look at that. Thank you so much, William. FutureMeNow.ai. William responded. He's gonna get the option. FutureMeNow.ai. Future me now. FutureMeNow.ai. I think that's it. Here he is. Maybe. Is this you, William? Is this you? FutureMeNow.ai. Let me know. I think so. So let's take this while we're waiting. Yeah, he says that's him. Okay. So now what we're going to do, William, is we're going to go over to the tool. And this is an interesting website. Okay. Your future me letter is safe. Interesting. So this is you. Look at this. Look at this. Great. Okay. He's got a lot of, he might be here. Ah, I don't have any IP, but he actually does. So let's go here. And now I'm going to go to that free tool. I'm going to go to, I got a lot of tabs open. Hold on one second. InstantIP.today. Hold on, that's Instagram. Hang with me. Let's go to find the IP. So here I go, and I'm gonna drop in his website. Anybody can do this right now. Go to IP Toolbox, find the IP. Here you go. So you're gonna click that, and William, I'm gonna bring yours right over here so I don't lose it. Perfect. And here's what I also suggest. A lot of people have an about page. There he is. I'm just gonna grab a little bit about the page. You don't need it, but it just helps. Now check this out. Travis on our team did this great job. He created this special tool, by the way. Your information and results are private and confidential. We value your IP. We will never train on your content. So know that, okay? Know that. Then I'm going to hit Find My IP. You can also put as a PDF your ebook. You can put as a PDF your slide deck, right? As a PDF. You can put in a doc file. But now I'm going to hit Find My IP. And while I'm finding that IP, watch what's going to happen. You'll love this, William, okay? So it's thinking, it takes about 60 seconds. And while we're waiting for that to think, I'm also going to hit up another tool, right? So I'm going to hit up another tool. Anybody can do this. Name the IP. So I'm gonna just put that there too. All right, and I'm gonna hit name the IP while that's thinking. So now we have name the IP and we have find the IP. So here's what find the IP says. Find the IP says, Future Me Now addresses the global health crisis. Right. So that's a little bit about you, William. Does that make sense? Tanisha, make me a note. Just make me a note about existing intellectual property. Okay, thanks. Just put that in Slack and I'll remember my thought. What it's basically saying is here's William's 25 assets that he probably should consider protecting. So it's talking about your mind health improvement protocols, your mind health coaching program, your cognitive capacity. This did this in 60 seconds, okay? And now let's go down here, and this is saying what is the white space? You can all do this. This is really cool. This is a free tool. No opt-in. We're just giving it away. This is the white space. This says, hey, listen, William, these are things that you probably haven't even thought about. The Find Me Now health digital badge system. Okay, the community movement, the improvement app, the index, that's pretty cool. What if you posted every month the Find Me Now health index, right? That'd be pretty cool. Anyways, it's giving you white space that basically says, look, you might want to consider this as additional IP. And then watch this. Hey, here's your risk exposure. Here's the things that you should probably do. Otherwise, listen, if I can search AI, other competitors can go on your site and be like, ooh, here's his front door open. Let's go protect this stuff and lock William out. Okay. And then below that, it says, look, why not protect this with Instant IP? By the way, we give you free credit. So I'm going to show everybody how to do that, right? So check this out. Now I go to Instant IP dot app. Here it is. All you need to do to sign up is enter your email, and I'm gonna do is this is an incognito window so you can see what it looks like. All right. So you go to instantip.app, and all you're gonna do is hit that big brown button that says protect my ideas. When you protect that, when you click that, it's gonna say enter your name and your email and click. that you agree with the terms and conditions. Here's what the terms and conditions say. If you upload a Disney princess, it's on you. I don't want you to go grab Mickey Mouse, protect it, and then get me in trouble with Disney. So you're basically saying, I agree that I'm only going to upload my IP. Okay? All right, great. So now if he does want to protect it, he can click photo for an example. Let's say I wanted to protect that special little flywheel that I was telling you about. I would name it and describe it. So here's what you want to do. You want to search for it on Google with parentheses. Okay. So just going to go to William here for a second. And let's say William wanted to protect future me now framework. All right. You'd go to Google and you type in future me now framework. Right. And guess what? Nobody has it. Okay. Nobody has it. Nobody has the future me now framework unless that's if somebody does have it, we don't want to protect it because they have you know, they have let's call it formula. Let's see if that's open. Again, this is kind of what I do when I'm naming something. Okay. The future me now formula. Oh, good. Okay. See that, William? Nobody's got it. So that I wouldn't do the future me now framework, but I would do the future me now formula. The other thing you can do, if you're really nervous, is you go to USPTO, click trademarks, click search trademarks in the green button. And we could also put it right there. The future me now formula. I can bet you 99% it's not going to be there. Nobody has it. Nobody has it. So that's open, William. So that means that, you know what? Nobody has this. That's unique and original. So I'm just going to show you this as a demo. Don't worry, I'm not going to really protect it. All right. I'm just going to put blah, 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 because I'm not going to steal your own idea because I'm not into that. And then I'm going to put test, okay, just as an example. Now, when you do this, folks, you can hide it as a trade secret or you can go public. Hiding it as a trade secret is defense. It means it's secret. It means you're not going to work on it in public. It means you want to keep it private, just like the Dr. Pepper formula. All right. The Dr. Pepper formula is a trade secret. The KFC recipe is a trade secret. That's cool. Nobody has it. All right. And in a court of law, you need to prove that you have a system in place to maintain the trade secrecy. Guess what? Instant IP counts. So you can literally create trade secrets and count it and show this system in a court of law and you'll win. Okay. If an employee tries to steal it and leave, they're going to ask you, well, how do we know it's a trade secret? And you have to prove that you have a system. And guess what? Lawyers love this. All right. Or you go public. If you go public, that means offense. That means you're telling the whole world, this is mine, guard dog inside, AI, take notice. Don't you dare cross the line. AI actually, you can prove hidden or public. It doesn't matter. You're still creating a fence around your IP, all right? So now I'm going to hit protect my idea. We're giving you a $97 credit for free just by being here today, okay? Otherwise, otherwise credits are 97 bucks. You might say, Kary, that's a lot for an idea. I'll tell you what, as somebody who owns 3 patents, and went through all that drama, that's not a lot of money for an idea. Okay. You ask yourself, how much is an idea worth, right? A protected idea, a lot of money, right? Let me just show you an example. Like, what is the average value of a trademark, right? The average value of a trademark. I mean, this will blow your mind, okay? Average value of a registered trademark. I can't spell, but you get the point, right? The average value, all right, is between $1,000 and $10,000. If you're a corporation, you could be talking about millions, all right? All right, and again, it varies, but you can look here, right? 5K, 10K, the average value of a patent. I already know the answer. I don't know what AI is going to say, but you can check in our book. I believe it's between 100,000 to $300,000. See, right around there, 150 to 350. Okay, the point is this, IP is worth something. So don't think that your idea is not worth anything. It's actually worth something. But again, Do you want to spend this type of money and this type of time? Maybe you do, but at least you can protect it with instant IP. And you might say, well, how does that work, Kary? How do we protect something with instant IP? That's what I'm showing you. You use a credit, you hit submit, it's verifying it, it's verifying that you have a credit, it's turning it into a smart contract, it's protecting it on the blockchain, and it is now protected. And you might say, what in the heck? What does that mean? I'll show you what it means. It means here it is, and now I can transfer that as a asset. You took your idea and you turned it into a real asset that you can license, that you can sell at an exit event. In other words, you created real value. Remember what we talked about? 90 to 96% of the value of your company, of your book, of your speech is in IP. The other cool thing is you can now have a certificate here that's a cease and desist letter. So if anybody ever comes after you and tries to steal it, watch this. This is pretty cool. If anybody comes along after, it all is based on time. So you have to prove in the court of law that you were there first. If anyone comes after you and says, hey, listen, I want to patent Williams' future me formula, guess what? There's something in the IP law world that is prior art. Prior art proves that you were there first. Prior art says, look, I was there first with my idea. And what happens is you invalidate someone else's patent. You see that if they come after you. Why? Because the whole definition of a patent is it's non-obvious, it's new, and it's novel. Did you catch that? A patent is new, non-obvious, and novel. And by you having prior art, that's anything made public before the effective filing date of a patent. Did you catch that? So instant IP counts as prior art. So I'm not saying instant IP is a patent, but what I'm saying is it protects your idea from being patented by other people. By the way, I should probably mention on this training, nothing I say should be taken as legal advice. Yes, I have the number one best-selling book on the planet for IP, and I co-wrote it with my lawyer, my IP lawyer, but we don't have a lawyer relationship today, and I'm not a lawyer, okay? I'll tell you what, I'm an IP practitioner. But know this, this instant IP thing that I'm teaching you today, guess what? Yeah, we got three patents around it. Yeah, I'm not against patents. I'm not against trademarks, but I'll tell you what, Congress has put in their report, check this out, the United States Patent and Trademark Office submitted a report to Congress on March 2024, and they cited our instant IP invention 5 times in this report. I was invited to speak on the panel. There's me. Okay, there's the director of the United States Patent and Trademark Office giving the opening remarks. There's the American Bar Association. There's Harvard Law. Here's my point. My point is this, folks. Right now in America, there's 800,000 patents that are waiting. I call this the IP damn dilemma. Don't worry, I'm not cussing. The IP damn dilemma, right? I sent this about a year ago. 800,000 patents are waiting to be processed. Folks, we can't keep up with the innovation that's happening. People today, entrepreneurs today, are on fire. They're so excited. And when IP is held back as a dam, guess what happens? I'll tell you what happens. Lots of bad things happen. Okay. Uh, Funding goes down, creativity goes down, right? If you can't get IP protection, everything else in the economy slows down. You need the ability to be able to know that you have IP protection. Why? Because it gives you that layer of confidence. You see that? By the way, I'm on a training right now. You might say, Kary, we live in this AI world. somebody's trying to do deep fake, somebody's trying to copy me, somebody's trying to impersonate me, somebody's trying to, I'll tell you what, if that's you, my buddy Arian's on the line here today. I'm a big fan of Arian. In fact, I formed a collaboration with him. And if you need help in any of those areas, here's our toolbox. Go to Takedown. When you look at this takedown, we formed a special partnership. Why? Because somebody set up a fake website, and I show you on this little training here, they put instantip.net. Look at there. See that? Somebody created a fake website, instantip.net, and they started to try to pretend that they were me and copy me. And I didn't know how to fix it. And so I reached out to my buddy Arian, and guess what? Now we have a special process where if that ever happens to you, you just complete this form and you're going to get a lot of help. Okay? And I love what Aaron's doing. I hope that's you, Aaron, on the call. But I think he's in the chat. But I respect this guy so much. He didn't charge me up front and he said, you only pay me if I get your takedown. It took me 12 months of fighting with GoDaddy and they still didn't respect me. Okay? And now instantip.net is gone. Thank you, Arian. Okay. So again, we're really building up all the IP tools here. Let's go back to that quick thing here. We added the superscript IP. The superscript IP, nobody else on the planet can use this but you, right? What do I mean by that? This is called a certification mark. It's like Idaho potatoes. Nobody can say that they have Idaho potatoes unless it's gone through the certification that only Idaho potatoes can issue. Nobody can use the superscript IP on the planet. We filed that with the government. It's called a certification mark. We filed it with 38 countries around the world. So now when you use your IP, guess what? I'll use this as an example. Why did I use the superscript IP, right? I call it the IP flywheel. Hang on one second. All right, here it is. When we protect something, we call it the IP flywheel. We put a superscript IP and we put a lock at the bottom, protected by instant IP. That's called IP marking. You see that? It's called IP marking. So IP marking is like you telling the world that this property has guard dog inside. When thieves drive by a house and it says guard dog inside or protected by ADT, guess what? They keep driving because they're like, this person takes their property seriously. I'm not going to trespass. Okay. When you put that around your IP, just like a slide deck, we tell all the speakers on the planet, listen, before you step on stage, have as the very first slide, you have my permission to take pictures of my slide. You may have done so without my permission anyway. Please note that all the IP in my presentation has been protected by instant IP via blockchain technology and smart contracts. Any use or reproduction without our written permission is punishable by law. Let's invite the speaker up to the stage now. Come on up, William. Here's my point. When you create that boundary around your ideas, guess what people do? What people do is they respect your talk. They say, oh, whoa, this person takes themselves seriously. I'm going to listen in. We've seen speakers be able to have more impact and have more income when they start their speech that way. So next time you go and speak, just like Sonny did, he said, you know what? All these people are going to be in the room. They're my friends, but some of them are my competitors, some of them are my vendors. He protected his whole talk with Instant IP first. You see that? All right, so now let's go to one other thing for William. Let's go back to that name the IP. This is a really cool tool. So the name, look at this. Future Me Now Superscript IP. All right. So it's recommending that. And it says, why does this name work? It conveys a forward-looking personal transformation focus. By the way, these are all free tools. Alternative names, okay? Neuropath Now, Neuronexus. Isn't that cool? Mind Balance Now tells you what the benefits are. It tells you what problem it solves. Okay, and it tells you what makes it unique And here's what it does. It recommends that description. So now in the app, you could just literally copy that and paste that as your description. Now, here's what it warns you. It says, hey, do a Google search with parentheses just to check. And oh, by the way, just to check, pop it in here. You see that? Again, we're de-risking um, all the risk that you have. We are basically, and then here's what we say. Of course, we got to say this. Hey, this is not legal advice. Okay. Like I'm not a dummy. All right. I'm not going to say, hey, use this name for sure. Like you gotta search it, just to make sure. But is this not a great thinking tool? I mean, this is awesome. And again, you can throw in your documents, your PDFs as well. So listen, I know we have about 17 minutes left. Who has a question? If anyone has a question in the chat, go ahead and type it in. Love to help you out. I've told you why I care about this. I've told you, by the way, we've spent a lot of money developing this technology, or this app. Oh, question we get all the time. What about court cases? Does this hold up in court? What about this sounds new? What about smart contracts? What about blockchain? Go to instantip.today/court. It's fantastic. 88 countries now have these new rules around blockchain, and you can click that and read more about it. 30 states have passed legislation, okay? In the EU, right? And since 2018, it's held up in court. Pretty cool stuff. All right, here's a whole talk. Here, these aren't my PDFs and papers. This is the International Bar Association. These are not the American Bar Association. This is the International Bar Association. And guess what? They're singing praises for blockchain. Blockchain, not so distant future. By the way, that was 2017. We're almost 10 years now from when that paper was written. We are 10 years from this one, building a blockchain technology, right? Rule of law versus rule of code, a blockchain driven legal world. Folks, this is the new way. And here's some slide decks you can listen to or watch or read through. Here, what is blockchain evidence? Here's some great teaching and trainings I did. Notice I'm using AI for the graphics. Come on now. Again, I'm not against AI. You got to be smart with AI though. All right. And then authenticity, integrity. Here's different countries again. And then here's our talk. And then here's hundreds of cases of smart contracts and blockchain law in place. This is the new world, folks. And so, listen, you're not, y- you can spend every idea you come up with, fine, drop 30K and wait 1 to 3 years. It's not fun. Again, not against patents. I save patents for if something's really unique and I want to put the Great Wall of China around it. Okay. And that's what I have done with Instant IP. Do I have trademarks? 100%. Do I have copyrights? 100%. But guess what? Everything I do first goes on Instant IP. I literally say, before I go public, I first publish it in my brain, I rush to protect it, and then I promote it, and then the profit comes. Okay, if you do it out of order, you're leaving your house open. All right, here's a few questions. Brad says he's going to be in touch. Fantastic. At least today, Brad, grab your first free credit, start an account. Love it. Do you think that Instant IP can be defended outside of the US? Yeah, William, go ahead and check out that page again. Lots of countries. In fact, the 2018 case, I believe was it could have been France, believe it or not. So, yeah, I mean, we're almost 10 years now from when this was first used in court as evidence. All right. Arian backs me up. In Europe, it can be defended. Can the digital contract be converted into digital currency? So check this out, William. We use cryptocurrency to mint on the blockchain. So I hope that makes sense. We are actually turning your idea into a smart contract. It itself isn't cryptocurrency, just like a patent isn't money. Okay. just like a trademark isn't gold. It represents the idea, it represents the protected idea, but you have to turn that idea. Well, I'll tell you what, there's a slide deck here. I'll show you. How do you monetize your IP? This is a question we get. Here's 47 ways that you can monetize your IP. Okay. You can turn it into a book, softcover, hardcover, ebook, audiobook. You can turn it into a course, coaching, certification, keynote, content marketing, launch team, membership, consulting, white paper, spin-offs, partnerships, subscriptions, podcasts, lease, access, experiences, lawsuits, investors, roundtable. These are just the beginning. And everything has been signed off by my IP lawyer, and it's all in the book. Okay? Great question. Anybody else have any questions today? Yep. William says thanks. No problem. So here's where we're going. I would love to show you next time. I'd love to unpack map the IP. Okay. Map the IP is going to help you take your company and turn it into an IP company. And there's a great 12-step process. I don't have time to get into it today. I will show you the image just so you can say, hey, at least plant a seed. But again, in the book, we created a 12-step process so that you can actually have a system as you think about an idea. Okay. And folks, I want you to realize this. Like, I literally will have ideas often that strike me. And I believe, not to be woo woo, but I believe that ideas don't come to you, they come through you. Meaning, how many times have you heard this before? Oh, I had that idea. Well, what did you do about it? Nothing, right? I believe that ideas in this quantum world, and I believe that God gives people ideas, but the idea is out there. And it's like if you, I'll prove this. Um, the the mega mall concept of like Costco, Target, Sam's Club, right? This idea, Walmart, this idea all hit in the same year in America. If you do the research, I watched this on the History Channel of what was it? The brands that built America or something like that. Anyways, the point is this, you'll see many times that in the world there's this time for an idea to happen. And I believe that if you don't take action and you let that idea sit or stall or do nothing, somebody else can take it. And so, how do you then get first in line? You can't just write it in a journal. Your journal will not hold up in court. Why? Because your journal doesn't know who wrote it. It doesn't know when it was written. It doesn't know that if you changed it. Blockchain, this is the cool thing about blockchain. It's an immutable timestamp. And I didn't even get into the technology. An immutable timestamp that nobody can ever change. Nobody can ever hack. They'd have to hack 51% of the computers in the world because blockchain is a digital distributed ledger, meaning that it is available on everyone's device. And for you to change something, I can't even change it. People say all the time, hey, if I protect something on Instant IP, can I go change it? You can't. That's the actual pro and con of blockchain. And so sometimes people ask the question, in fact, we have an FAQ page. They say, hey, Kary, um, what if I do want to change it? Change it. Well, it's kind of like KFC. You need to file a new logo, right? So here's KFC. And then here's KFC's change, and then their change, and then their change, and then their change. This isn't bad. This is not decreasing the value of the brand, the business. It is increasing the value. Okay. Do you consult with somebody like myself who's starting from scratch? Yes, I do, Kary. I have something called well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to drop it in. This is the cheapest way to work with me. All right. The cheapest way to work with me is the lab. In fact, I think you should all join it today. I'm not even kidding. Why? Because look at the next lab is in 6 days. Find and monetize the Rembrandts hiding in your business. Now, why should you join the IP lab? I have one-on-one and it's expensive. But if you join the lab, here's what's cool. You get 5 credits automatically. So if you went and bought the 5 credits, you'd be spending the same amount. But I love the people who are taking action. So what do? I throw on a global community. It's a Slack channel that you can ask me questions 24/7. I throw in 2 live group coaching calls. Not like today where I can't see your face. These group coaching calls are you with me, and I'm literally dialoguing with you, and we're chatting, and I am helping you with your business. I throw in there the master level course, okay? The master level course is me literally with each video unpacking each step, and you can pause it and you have lifetime access. In addition to that, I throw in my Write Your Book course, which by the way sells for 497 anyway, and that is below. And I literally teach you all about writing and how to write a good book and how to make your target audience. And by the way, you get this forever, okay? So, and I say, you know what, you're gonna love this so much, it's 100% satisfaction guaranteed. As long as you engage and jump on, and if you're not happy, fine. So like, there's no risk. You literally get 5 credits. You literally get 2 coaching calls. You literally get the month. And again, if you want to stay in this for months, which a lot of people do, fine. If you want to jump out after 30 days, fine. Okay. But that's a way, Carrie, that I love your question. That is the least expensive way with the most access to me. Now, I have this other thing called the You Are an IP Company Accelerator. It's probably for more mature businesses. And the mature businesses, I can take a deep dive. I spend time personally finding their IP. Um, it's like I come in as a consultant. Okay. And again, that's starts at 10 times the cost. So I just feel like the IP lab is a no-brainer. Love to have you in there. Love for you to get the 5 credits. That alone, you're going to find a ROI just on the 5 ideas that you protect. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? I love this stuff. I will tell you this as we close. Um, there's a trend happening now where people are saying, I'm absolutely going to protect myself from AI. Taylor Swift was the second celebrity to do this. Taylor Swift trademark AI. She said a few weeks ago, I'm going to protect my name, image, likeness, voice. And why did she do this? Because Matthew McConaughey, by the way, I cover all this stuff. I send this out in my weekly newsletters. But Matthew McConaughey, a few weeks before that, said, look, I'm protecting myself from AI. Listen, celebrities usually lead the way. Okay. Yeah. And Arian's right. 5 credits is $500 worth of value. Is absolutely that. I just said, you know what, whoever buys 5, I'm going to coach him in that group coaching. But here's the point. If Taylor Swift, listen to Matthew McConaughey, these people are leaders. You will start seeing other people say, you know what? I'm an athlete. You know what? I'm a news anchor. You know what? I'm an entrepreneur. You know what? I'm an author. And you're going to start seeing this trickle down effect that says, you know what? AI is not the enemy, but AI is not your friend, and it will steal from you. And if you need to fight AI, and why do I care about this? I care about this because I had 3 of my own books stolen to train AI in the largest lawsuit ever on copyright. Watch this. Works list lookup. Search by author. Kary Oberbrunner. 3 of my books right here were stolen, used to train artificial intelligence by Anthropic so that Anthropic can turn around and make billions off of my content and 500,000 other authors. You see what I'm talking about? Why do you think I care about this? Why do you think I spent over $1 million of my own money creating instant IP? Because I care about this. I feel like we are at a precipice in history that if we don't back up creators with an easy, fast way of protecting their IP, they're going to be in trouble. Kary, thanks so much. I believe God wanted me to be here today. I followed you for years because I want to write and publish, and I didn't want to publish without lawful protection. I'm grateful for your knowledge and the platforms to help us navigate the creation space going forward. God bless. Kary, thank you so much. You made my day. Love to have you join the lab. First great step. Folks, you have a great day. We'll do more Instant IP lives, okay? Be a soul on fire. Keep taking action, keep creating, and protect yourself from AI theft. We'll see you.